What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, and today I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, try something out a little bit different, and react to this game blind. Now, obviously, I've seen this game before. It's me playing it, but I played this game over a month ago, and so I don't actually totally remember everything that happens. Basically, I know the file name that I have this saved as, and I did review a small segment of the footage basically before I thought of this idea, and basically I know that this game is chaotic. I have this game saved as Chaotic Brave Ball. So I think that I know that it involves Brave Princess in some way, and probably that ball means Crystal Ball, though I don't remember why I thought this game was so chaotic. And I think it's partially because I just make some weird and silly decisions that I'm not gonna be able to totally justify after the fact. And so I thought it might just be fun to play it and react to it sort of live here, at least without reviewing the footage. And like I said, I probably last saw this gameplay like a month ago or something when I decided to save this video. So we'll see what happens here. You guys can watch it live with me. We are going to start by picking up a Poliwoggle and a Kitty Cutpurse locked onto the Madmim there, and then I will finally use my first kidnap of the game. And not a bad place to start off with. We rolled the die, grabbed a 3-3. That's not super exciting, but Poliwoggle can certainly open up some interesting aspects for us. And I will say I do remember, well, I didn't remember this, but when I went back and watched part of the footage, I think I do know one of the characters that we are going to steal with Kidnap, but a lot of this game is still very much uncertain to me. I had no clue what Poliwoggle was going to turn into. And, I guess we kidnapped another Kitty Cutpurse. So we're doing some funky Kitty Cutpurse stuff. I'm debating here casting the Kidnap because we are up against Merlin, which is a character that Kidnap is obviously pretty good against because they have some bonus stats on their characters. And then here we can see a Brave Princess in the shop. And I'm going to prioritize slaying with these Kitty Cutpurses as well as playing some dwarves in the front line. And yeah, I guess I'm mainly locking onto the Brave Princess here. There is a Princess White in the shop. I don't think that I wind up going for that, but you can see partially, I think, why Brave was in the title of the footage here. We're actually going to get a second Brave Princess. So we'll have one from our own shop that we locked onto, and then we just stole one from Merlin. Now, both of these still need all three triggers to go. So we've got a little bit of work to do, but there is a Good Witch in this shop, and I don't hate picking up the Good Witch alongside this Princess Peep. We'd have to sell off some things. Probably the Baby Root and the two dwarves could get it done, and that might not be a horrible option just because it'll be more difficult. Oh, we only have to sell off these two dwarves. We can even hang on to the Baby Root here still. So this seems like a pretty good start to the game, and then I'm going to fire off the other Kidnap. Okay, so I think that we're doing pretty good now. I'll say pretty good. We're at 29 health. We've lost a bunch of combats up until this point, but double Brave Princess definitely is at least somewhat inspiring for where this game could potentially go. Looks like we're going to take even more damage this turn, though. We do have a Shadow Assassin. That's actually going to be enough to get us the win, so that's nice. And we'll stop losing a little bit of health here. And we stole a Black Cat, which isn't super exciting, though we could play that, I suppose. We'll pick up another Shadow Assassin this turn. Didn't go for the free roll, though. And then, yeah, some more good characters. These seem good. I don't know. This is kind of just like I don't want to say like experimental content. It's still Storybook Brawl. It's still the game that we all know and love. But I don't know. I might not even upload this and just re-record it here. This is kind of me reviewing the footage for the first time. So I guess let me know what you think about it after it's all said and done. If this is kind of a fun way to experience the content with me. Probably won't be a super regular thing, but like I said, I think that this game is not super regular. And I think that partially what I'm like kind of starting to remember some things. I have a feeling that these Brave Princesses are going to take a while to activate, so we'll see. I do know from part of the clip that I watched is we're gonna move into dwarves a little bit here. We've got a bunch of different pairs right now. But on 4.0, I think that picking up a Fanny and a Greedy is definitely a good route. Just a 9-13 Fanny is going to be pretty big. And the Brave Princesses aren't that small. I could play a second Good Witch. I don't think that that would be crazy either. Just cut the Shadow Assassin and then be able to play a little bit more stats on all of my things. But it is nice that we have 3 different pairs of tier 3 characters and then 2 Brave Princesses as well. So a lot of different opportunities to find Crystal Ball and Merlin's Hat, if that is the route that we wind up going eventually. Those are just tier 3 treasures that work pretty well together, obviously. So we'll see what that turns into. We are going to get a sleigh with Brave Princess here, and then we might actually be getting some, not too many more triggers on the Greedy, but enough to walk away from this combat with a win. So that's pretty good. Staying at 29 health, and all of a sudden, like, at 29 health, we're actually now in 3rd place, which is kind of crazy. Storybook Brawl definitely feels like a different game recently, where the lobbies are just so much faster, and it means you don't get to do as many cool things sometimes, and just everything is much more competitive. We get to triple the Fanny this turn. Options are Reduplicator, which I never like, and Ugly Gosling Helm would just pump up the Good Witches, so Moonsong Horn seems great to pump up these Brave Princesses just a little bit more, and then I'll probably sell off 2 things here. Sell off one of my pairs to just pick up another Greedy. Looks like I'm eyeing up selling the Princess Peeps. The Princess Peep probably has a little bit more synergy on the current board, so I could see just selling off the Shadow Assassins here and hanging on to the Peeps, which work well with the Moonsong Horn as well as the Good Witches, but looks like I want to play the Shadow Assassin just for a little bit of strength as well. One of my Brave Princesses is going to slay, so we're doing some okay work on those. Both of those have 1 activation left, and then we'll start to grab some tier 3 treasures, which, like I said, I believe is Crystal Ball, but I'm really not sure. So still looking for a Shadow Assassin or a Good Witch or potentially a Greedy to build some other treasures out of, and yeah, the Lightning Dragon I don't think does that much for us. I guess we'll pick up some golden chickens. The Court Wizard's fine. Okay, we find a Shadow Assassin. That's nice, and probably would go with Fancy Pants here. All right, I like that pickup. Nothing like super impressive from the other treasures. We only have 1 ranged character in the back line. We could pick up Polywoggle here with the +3/+3, and I gotta say that's part of it that's cool for me too, is just like thinking about what I would do and then seeing if I do those things, because Storybook Brawl is a weird game where you can like the same, or like 2 players can look at the same board and come up with totally different ideas for what you're supposed to do on that board. And I think that is definitely like a really fun part of the game. Shadow Assassin looks like it's going to do some decent work for us here. Will it be enough? I think it will be. Nice. Okay, Shadow Assassin gets it done. That's really good. And now we're in 1st place, by the way, just looking at the leaderboard here. So that's kind of crazy. Now that we are on 5.0, I'm trying to come up with a way to slay with this Polywoggle, but I still want to get these Brave Princesses done. I kind of still want to play the Shadow Assassin. I don't know. Kind of tricky to fit it all in here. We wind up Mix-a-Whizzling into an Amy, which is a pretty big character, just at an 18-13. Might want to try to find a way to put that in just for some stats, but I also want to get these Brave Princesses completed, so now I'm looking at Godmother to try to complete the Brave Princesses. I'm also going to pick up a Nyan Sea Terror, and then I am going to move the Polywoggle into the 4th slot here. I like some of these decisions. Brave Princesses are pretty big. We're trying to make as many concessions as we can to the Brave Princesses and the Polywoggle, pursue both of those angles. By the way, recording this in a way where I can react to the comments on yesterday's video. I loved all of the comments where people left creative, alliterative synonyms for, I think it was like route I wanted synonyms for, and yeah, just a lot of really good ones. Path, plan, those were some of the first comments that are sticking out to me right now, but you guys kept going and I loved it. I showed it to my partner and I was like, these are the people that watch my videos, and it just brought such a smile to my face because I'm like, wow, okay, I found an awesome group of nerds that can appreciate hearing me talk about video games every day. And yeah, just cool stuff there. I will triple the greedy and pick up a forking rod. That one is pretty straightforward. And you know, now I'm thinking, okay, well yeah, the forking rod double cast on the masquerade ball, that's obviously really cool. And then I guess we'll go into dwarves for a little bit here. Kind of got distracted and forgot about the game, but it does seem like dwarves is definitely the avenue that I should be playing. I can take advantage of this big greedy here on 5.1 and be pretty strong. And it looks like we are finally going to get this Brave Princess online, and this must be Crystal Ball. And no, it's not. It's Merlin's hat. Okay, well now maybe I want to try to slay with the other Brave Princess to find ourselves a Crystal Ball. Might pick up that Wizard's Familiar there. I think that's what I was potentially debating. Oh, and I guess I'm now down a dwarf because my fairy godmother turned back into a fairy godmother, was a Tweedle there. I saw a Hercules for a second. That would have been nice. But you know what? Gumblegore, as a means to activate Brave Princess, I think is what I'm going to go for here. And just to give myself a little bit more stats on that 26 attack, Brave Princess seems pretty good. I'll still keep the Doom Breath in slot 1, so that way I can double support the Brave Princess. And still have Doom Breath attacking as my first character. So Brave Princess might get attacked into here. It does, okay, and we're going to be activating Brave Princess by the looks of it on 6.0. So that is definitely silly. One of the later Brave Princess activations. And already, I guess we're in the top 4. This is crazy. Top 3 now, as, yeah, this is, like I said, just the state of Storybook Brawl. We could take Evil Eye. Okay, this is why it's silly. I take Evil Eye to give Brave Princess 45 attack to try to slay with it up against the ghost. That's pretty incredible. And then it looks like I am eyeing up this Forked Dream. That's a pretty good one. Don't really love anything here, but I go for King Midas. I actually think that the Sadrak could have been fine too, but I just wind up skipping on that treasure. And then I see Trophy Hunter. I also see Merlin and Rumpelstiltskin. I think, wow, okay, I go for Trophy Hunter. Okay, well, sure. Let's try it out here. We've got the Gumblegores. We have the Evil Eye. That's why. Surprisingly, I did not pick up that Friendly Spirit, but I do pick up a Baba Yaga here. And then I think this is part of like the chaos of it all. That we're playing dwarves. We're also looking to potentially play Trophy Hunter with Evil Eye, but I think now, spoilers, I kind of was talking about it, I guess maybe spoiled it a little bit too much, but now I'm just going to go for the Crystal Ball strategy and move out of Dwarves, move out of Trophy Hunter, and just try to cast a bunch of spells here in the top 3 of this lobby. There is a Scion of the Storm, and like I said, we could have pumped that up earlier with the free roll. I kind of had a feeling we'd pick up some Scions of the Storm. That is typically a character that you get into when you pick up Crystal Ball later in the game, because you haven't had the time to scale up a Wizard's Familiar or Spellweaver before that happens. We will activate Cindy here. I'm just going to skip out on that, pick up an Oni Tyrant, and there's Good Boys, there's Stone Skin. Yeah, let's cast a few more spells on this. Am I going to pick up the Wizard's Familiar this late in the game? Looks like I am. And then there's a Spellweaver here too, and I don't think I'm going to sell out for that. I just try to cycle through some dwarves and things. I think I was maybe trying to pick up the Spellweaver there before we ran out of time, but I did eventually run out of time. Now, do have a pretty large Echo Wood. Don't even know fully how I got that Echo Wood. I guess that was just from Wombats in Disguise there. And I think, yeah, that's going to be enough stats to get, oh, not quite a kill. We hit them for 13 down to 1, so pretty silly stuff there. Here's where I realized that I'm Trophy Hunter and maybe should be trying to play with Empress P, despite this board just being very silly. But okay, it looks like I'm going to go for it. I already sold out the Evil Eye, doing a lot of back and forth here, and like I said, can't really justify all of these decisions, and I think that's partially why I had the word chaos on the clip that I saved, just because like I didn't really know what I was doing, but looks like I might pick up another Empress P here now. I mean, if you have one, pick up another one, might as well. And I'll also go for this Forked Gingerbread Party before I do so, and then I will just sell out of like Doom Breath to pick up another Empress P. 35 attack Empress P, sure, why not? We'll try it out. We are up against Sharon here and almost in the final combat of the game. We're pretty close to it all being done. And here, I think, if I could remember this correctly, I think that I would be looking at that combat and saying, you know what, I shouldn't be trying to do Trophy Hunter stuff. And I think that's what that mouse shake was. That mouse shake was stop trying to make Trophy Hunter happen. Though with these spells, it kind of looks like I'm trying to make Trophy Hunter happen. Again, I think I'm conflicted. Like I said, I roll past the Dream. Here we've got to feed the Kraken, so I'm going to feed Minotaur to the Kraken, give me a little bit more econ. Here I can triple up on the Empress piece, so I go for that, and then I find Wand of Weirding. Now what's tough about this board, or about these treasures specifically, is I don't have Aeon. So I can't really just grab another treasure. The treasures that I have are kind of like the perfect one. So I'm just going to wind up hanging on to these treasures. I am able to cast a whole bunch of spells here. And then I think what I do is I dream. And this was like an accidental dream. And I actually did want to be Trophy Hunter. Now I'm remembering that. I regretted dreaming because I was just back and forth so much of should I play Trophy Hunter, should I not play Trophy Hunter, and now I have this huge Empress P, which is good, but it doesn't slay, so it's definitely very awkward here. And going to wind up using a True Love's Kiss on Baba Yaga now that I don't have Trophy Hunter. That gives me another Doom Breath. Not super excited for that one, and now I've wrecked this Empress P even more so. So how are we going to salvage this? I'm probably looking to Knighthood on the Scion of the Storm. That seems pretty straightforward, and maybe that's enough. I pick up a Sporko just to be a little bit, have a little bit more stats from the Empress P, and I think I'm just gonna roll with this. I guess I cast a Kidnap here to end the game off, give a little bit more stats to my mages. Not super impressive, but I think I probably win this combat here. I mean, my opponent has a lot of scam. They've got the pumpkin, but we take the pumpkin out, and then as long as they don't... Okay, well, they actually get a pretty good scam there. All right, yeah, that's some pretty solid scam, but no, they're not going to be able to kill the Scion of the Storm, so that's it. That's all she wrote. That's the game. That's Chaotic Brave Ball. So there you go. I didn't know exactly what we were getting into. It's kind of a silly one here, and I think definitely there's a lot to say right now, and I've brought this up in a few of my videos recently, just about the state of Storybook Brawl, especially if you're like a new player. I've talked about that some, but all of the games just seem very, very fast, and so you don't really have time to make some crazy comps, though we did definitely take our time in slaying with some brave princesses on this one. But for today, that's going to be it. Let me know what you thought about it. Probably won't do this one again. I think the game, in hindsight, wasn't even super exciting, but it was still kind of fun to slay with some brave princesses on 6.0, which is not something that you get to do every game. But for today, that's going to be it for me. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.